All right, let's talk about something that I think drives a lot of us crazy with AI, getting it to think the way you actually want it to. Today, we're going to move past just asking it questions and learn how to give it rules. We're going to turn it from a kind of unpredictable guesser into a super reliable assistant. So let's dive in and see how you can take the driver's seat.
So you know that feeling, right? You ask an AI for some pretty important advice, and boom, it gives you an answer in like 2 seconds. And it sounds super confident, but it just feels a little too fast, like it must have missed something. Yeah, that's a really common thing. And here's the deal on why that happens. It's not like the AI is being lazy. It's just built to predict the next logical word. So it just jumps right to what it thinks is the conclusion. It completely skips over the crucial questions a real human expert would ask you first. It just fills in the blanks, makes a bunch of assumptions for you, and you end up with advice that sounds amazing, but is actually built on a shaky foundation.
So what's the fix? You might think, oh, I just need to get better at writing my questions. But the real game changer is to stop playing that game altogether. The solution isn't a better question, it's all about better rules. We have to stop trying to have a conversation and start giving it direct, explicit instructions.
And that brings us to our big idea for today, algorithmic thinking. Now I know it sounds a little intimidating, but trust me, it's not. All it really means is making a decision by following a set of steps, a sequence of rules, instead of just taking a shot in the dark. It's about building a process, not hoping for a lucky guess.
So this is the core logic, and it's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. First, you define a question. Step 2, and this is the key, you force the AI to wait for your answer. Then, and only then, do you define the next question. The secret sauce here is that there's absolutely no skipping ahead. Every single step has to happen in order.
Okay, check this out. Here is a perfect example of this in action. We're not just asking, should I send this email? No way. We are commanding the AI with a very specific decision tree. And notice those key phrases. Follow this decision tree exactly. That's the command. And stop and wait for my input. That's the control. This little structure just changes everything.
So this is the big shift in mindset you've got to make. When you just ask a question, you're basically inviting the AI to guess, to improvise, and that leads to a totally unpredictable conversation. But when you give it rules, you're forcing it to execute a specific process that you designed. The flow is completely under your control. The AI stops thinking on its own and starts executing your steps one by one.
So let's just break down why this is so dang effective. First, those numbered steps, that's your algorithm. It's crystal clear. Then, that little phrase, wait for my answer, that's the magic wand. It completely stops the AI from just making stuff up or jumping ahead. You basically turn this creative, freewheeling language model into a controlled, logical decision engine. And what that means is, the output is predictable, it's reliable.
Now, there is a really important trade-off here to understand. When you use algorithmic prompts, you're giving up some of the AI's wild creativity, right? You're trading that for complete control. So you're going to want to use this technique for situations where getting the correct, logical, well-thought-out answer is way more important than getting something new and original.
Okay, theory is awesome, but let's make this real. It is your turn to start directing the AI. Let's walk through a super simple template you can use to build these prompts for any decision you're facing.
This is your template, your cheat sheet. You start by just stating your goal super clearly. Then you give it that direct command, follow this process exactly. That sets the tone. Then comes the core of it, your list of questions, and you make sure each one has that crucial wait for my answer command. Finally, you tell it what you want at the end, and you remind it one more time to stop and wait. It's that simple.
So where should you use this?
Well, think about any decision where people and AIs tend to rush things and skip important steps. You know, stuff like, should I escalate this problem at work, or should I approve this request from my team? Even big personal things like, should I accept this meeting, or should I actually buy this expensive thing? These are all perfect for a more structured, step-by-step approach.
As you start playing with this, just always remember the main idea here. Clear rules will always be clever wording. You don't have to be some kind of prompt wizard. You just need to be a good process designer. And that is the huge shift that takes AI from just being smart to being genuinely reliable.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. If you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The next time an AI gives you an answer that just feels too fast or kind of flimsy, you'll know exactly why. It's not that the AI is bad, it's that you didn't give it rules to follow. And now you know exactly how to fix that.